Feminine. I keep trying to figure out how to communicate this to you. But to be honest, it just feels weak. Because I watch you and I see you glowing up. Doing it with no partner, no one to support you, no one that you have to support. I see you single and free, as you've been since I left. By choice. I know it's by choice because part of why I left and what's kept me away is because I know that you could have anyone. That you could have doctors or lawyers or firefighters or chieftains, whoever you want. So I know that the only reason that you're not with anyone is because you choose not to be. And I'm really not sure if you are still waiting for me or not. I feel like in my heart I know that you are. Though in my mind it just feels ridiculous to think that. Especially as I watch you growing in popularity, supported, loved by your friends and family, by my family even over me. And I see that your business is growing, that the kids love you, that although you don't have everything, you're really lacking for nothing. And I look around and I see my life as it is, the choices that I've made. I feel like I have everything that I complained that I needed before I could give you simple reciprocity, simple respect even. I feel like such a jerk. Now I have it. I have a house. I have money. Sort of. My money's not good at all. But I have enough. And yet I still feel like I have to hold on to every penny because everyone around me will quickly gobble it up. I feel like even to help support you, as I really need to do, would simply result in more people taking what little I do have. Which also just reminds me that I was stupid. I left you for people that only want to use me, that they don't care. They don't care. They just don't care. They want more than their share. They feel entitled to everything that I own, everything that I am, and aren't even grateful for a single bit of it. And I put myself in this position. I convinced myself that I had to. That it was the only way to jump. That I was not afraid of being alone. That I was not being weak. That I was being smart. And I wasn't. I mean, I can stop and say that they lied to me and convinced me they'd be more helpful. But I knew that they weren't going to be. I knew that it was stupid and cowardly. Yet I did it anyways, and when I realized that you weren't coming to rescue me, that you were going to let me make my own choices and take the blame for what choices I made, I felt like I had to make something of it. I thought maybe I could fake it until I made it. Which I've seen you practice and do, but I'm missing pieces of it, I'm sure of it, because it's been nothing but chaos and disaster. Towers one after the other since I left. And I'm watching you, and I feel like it's like the tortoise and the hare, where I was so sure that you would just be so slow and be a stick in the mud, or that you would be out partying and being arrogant and screwing things up worse than I did, so that at least my mess looked, I don't know, better than yours. And instead, I see that you were simply going slow and steady, like you tried to convince me to do, and that I was the arrogant hare, thinking that I could spend all I like and ignore all the rules, ignore your warnings of the bad karma I was accruing, that I could mess around and still fix things, that I could pretend, and that everyone on the outside would believe me, and it wouldn't really matter how bad it was behind closed doors, that I could fix that too, that I could prove to you that I wasn't the jerk that you knew me to be when you asked me to go. But I am. Or I was. I feel like I'm just barely starting to get the sense of who you've seen me to be. I still don't feel like a divine masculine yet, but I feel like I'm starting to embrace it. I just don't know how long it'll take me to really face everything that I've done, and it feels so stupid to feel triggered by your success. I mean, it's not that I'm not happy for you. I am. You've always impressed me. To be honest, even before, I was always jealous of your ability to take an idea and turn it into something real, something tangible, something that other people could see. I've always been envious of how brave you are, how kind, how you're able to do the hard things, even when it means you might walk alone. And I'm definitely jealous of the fact that you don't need me. I know that you want me. I don't really understand why yet, but I know that you do. And I think I'm beginning to understand what you told me in the beginning about how unhealthy it is to be in a relationship with someone who feels like they need you, and how much better and healthier it is to be with somebody who wants you and doesn't need you. I've been so mixed up about what love means, and to see you glowing up based on your love for me, to be living out loud about it and yet being completely respectful, to see everyone supporting you, to see what started out as slow progress turning into quick success while I feel like everything around me is falling apart. I'm jealous, feminine. There's no way around it, and I'm trying to figure out how to face it this time instead of running from it. Because I know that I had those problems before. Jealousy, envy, possessiveness. Everyone was a potential enemy or threat. And I see you, and you're not threatened one iota about any of the karmics. You're not bothered by them. You don't remove your love for me. Even when I give them my loyalty, you know who you are. You know who you are to me. And you don't seem worried about the time or the distance or the space. It seems incredible, but it feels like your love for me has only grown. More incredible than feeling my own love for you grow. I was so sure that if I got with someone else, if I kept myself busy enough, if I distracted enough, if I worked long hours, if I became an even bigger jerk than I was when I left, that all the time and distance and space would disconnect us, like it did with everyone else before who left me. But it hasn't. And now I just feel like an even bigger jerk for all the times that I doubted, for all the times before that you just asked me for a little support, just to believe in you, to not fear the worst all the time. I can see now, I mean, if you could do it on your own, if you could do it with basically nothing, with no money, no support, no me, then you were right all along, that I was the one who was holding you back, stuck in my pain cycles and ego and pride. And you were kind enough to wait, to try to help me heal before you took off. And now I feel stupid. Because instead of being the divine masculine who stood by your side and reminded you you could do it and put aside his pride and said, let me help you. Let me hold your hand when you're scared. Let me help you figure out what choices you want to make. Instead, I was the one who triggered you, who made you afraid you couldn't do it, who put my projections, my fears, my traumas into your heart and held you back. I can only imagine where you would be now if I had just listened and gotten out of my ego and supported you. Because to see you doing this well on your own and still incredibly loving me and holding space for me and reaching out to me even when I don't reach back. You're incredible, you know that. And although I still have trouble feeling like I deserve you, if my heart is right, and if you're not lying and you really still are mine, I feel like the most special man in the universe to have earned your love somehow. And I just hope that, I don't know, I've been praying for a way out of this karmic situation before somebody else comes in and swoops you up, because it just feels like with all that you put out into the universe, the kindness and love, the respect, the fun, the joy, that it's only a matter of time that if I don't get myself together, that somehow Spirit is going to start lining up suitors who, I mean, I feel like anyone could be better than me, but you act like there is no one comparable. But I feel like it's my karma that of just being cowardly, procrastinating, being a hypocrite, of putting everything else in more importance, of running from love, that if I wait much longer, if I take too long, that whether you love me or not, you'll finally give in to allowing someone else to love you the way that I should have been this whole time. It's strange, though, because I remember feeling that way when I left, and I felt like I just surrendered to it and said to myself that you'd be better off. And now I almost feel more possessive. Not in the same way as before, but I feel like I want that to be me. And I want to be there before that happens. I keep having nightmares and dreams of you surrounded by so many masculines. And all of them happy to compete for your love. A competition that you wouldn't even ask for. All of them doing all of the things that I should have been grateful for the opportunity to do before, that I should be doing right now. Though I know, if nothing else, that I need to be cleared of these karmics. I need to clean up my mess before I can come back to you and face you and tell you about all of it. I can't stand to think of myself as the kind of man who, after everything that I put us through, everything that I've learned, to come back to you and ask for you back before I'm even clear, before I'm even single, before I have any proof that I'm not lying and leading you on. But I'm scared, feminine, because this karmic is scary. And because ending it with her means facing myself, and it means everybody knowing just how badly I messed up. And I thought for a while that if I just shut up and stayed with it, that I could hide that, but it's clear to me that the longer I stay with her, the more embarrassing it's going to get. And the more stupid I look for staying already as long as I have. And even though I know you've healed enough to no longer be hurt by me staying longer, I just feel like I'm an even bigger jerk because I know how much it hurt you in the beginning. And I know how much I already hate myself for not being there for every tear you cried because of me. And I want to come back to you as a man who can genuinely stand in his integrity, who can face his consequences, who isn't afraid of a little competition. I want to come back to you and at least be able to have, I don't know, to at least be able to show that I'm even just a, I don't know how to word it, a divine masculine in training. I don't know. I don't know yet. I think I'm starting to embrace that I don't need to know, I just need to choose. And I definitely choose you, and I definitely choose me. And while I'm scared as all hell, I know that I'm definitely choosing to face myself and to grow in the ways that I've avoided for so long. And I don't know how long that'll take. It feels like a race where I've already started out behind, where I'm likely to get to the finish line too late. I hope not. I think somehow this all starts in getting my thinking right, and doing what you did and having faith in yourself. So that's what I'm working on right now, feminine. Learning to believe in myself, to love myself. Because I know that's something that you teach, that you can't love another until you can love yourself. So jealous or not, please keep doing what you're doing. I love it, and I'm so proud of you. And I hope sometime soon to be able to tell you